The hour has come. We're ready to start the show here, and I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank the writers and the songwriters and the audience. And about 2 months ago, we put out these prompt words. They're called Blooming Sunset, I'll Tell You What, Change Out of Time, and Rain on My Parade. And so tonight we're going to witness the results of this little experiment, and our little program is called Bring On the Spring.
Up to the stage, and she chose the prompt Change, and oddly enough, I believe that's the title of her piece too. Sarah?
So Change is the title, and here we go. Our life seems to go with the swing of our hips. Changes happen all around, but I find my way with sachets, twirls, and dips. Maybe you dance too? The salsa, moonwalk, hip-hop. What do we do when life gives us the chop? Change, another way to say death. Change, another way to say mess. Change, give me back the status quo. Where's the music that I know? The orchestra is volunteer. The players are not perfect. Playing music I hold dear. The violin is screeching. The trumpet isn't reaching. Then the boom of the bass is awesome. It's not perfect, but it's close. The violin is serenading. The slide trombone range is cascading. So much brass is grandiose. I'm swept away in the sound. I witness the change, evolve, emerge from meh to oh so good. Change is where we become, obliterating the would and could and should.
What will you be after change? What part of your life will be rearranged? Will your quest ever falter? Will you turn your face away? Will my bones creak too much, too sachet? Will our lights burn ever brighter? Will our creativity be marked by the grace of God? Will our hearts break in the moment, give in to some old sod? Perhaps our hearts will only break open, so much bigger, so very wide. Then will we refuse the darkness encouraging us to hide? We each ask same questions, yet there are different answers for everyone. Change is the never-ending constant. It is the moment we have begun. Let us never falter. Look for ways to atone. My possibilities explode with light. When I remember the Creator never leaves me alone. I think I'll still dance when no one's looking. I'll still cry at commercials even when they are. I'm determined my light will burn ever brighter, and I'll only sing in my car.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Next, I'd like to welcome up James Robert Kane, renowned local author, and he is going to read a piece called
Blooming on a perfect spring afternoon. Let's welcome James.
About a week ago, I was sitting on my front porch in the sunshine, doing a little meditation under the theory that you don't have to smoke to get toked. So I decided to try to get as deep as I could into myself, really deep into my inner self, and maybe I might actually be able to feel and even hear my beard growing. Well, that didn't happen. But this story did. Max sat at a table at the Red Bench Bakery in Chaska, watching for his best friend, Monty, eager to resume their once-a-week routine. They'd bonded in 3rd grade when Miss Thicket tied Monty into his desk for conduct unbecoming. They launched retaliations and wore their punishments like badges of honor. They were together all the way through college, got their draft notices on the same day, and hunted Viet Cong together. Diverged for careers, retired to Chaska. All of this flashed through Max's mind as Monty approached. Max stood and wrapped him in a bear hug. "Man," Max said, "it is so good to see you, and on such a great spring day. Everything's blooming, man, including my spirits." "Yeah, well, my 401k sure ain't blooming," Monty said. "Damn tariffs." "Oh, come on, Monty, cheer up. Look, I got your favorite, monkey bread, and an Americano. Plus, I got some Jameson in a flask to help celebrate." Monty said, sat, stirred his coffee, took several big sips, and said, "Pour." And as Max did, Monty launched a tirade about damage done America in the first 100 days by an unelected, android-like Afrikaner. But when he said ICE agents were turning America into a police state, Max said, "Whoa, Monty, whoa, calm down. This isn't you. This isn't the master of dark humor, the guy who could make me laugh in a foxhole under fire. Is everything okay?" Tears brimmed in Monty's eyes. "It's Krista, my niece. The little girl you and I took camping and ice fishing and agate hunting on the North Shore. Her husband's getting kicked out of the country, and she's going to go with him to Switzerland. We're never going to see her again." Max sat stunned, said, "That's impossible." "No, it's the hard truth. Remember, he was in the country working an international research project and getting his PhD when they fell in love and got married. But a few months ago, he spoke at a rally protesting the murder of Palestinian women and children in Gaza, and they yanked his visa." "Are you sure she's going to go with him?" "Oh, she said Red America can kiss her ass. Sounds final to me. It's heartbreaking." "I'm sorry, Monty. It's criminal. But we can't let despair consume us. In fact, a great idea just came to me. Hold on, I'll get more coffee." He returned with half-filled cups, topped them from the flask, and said, "The good Lord knows that in dark times like these, we gotta find joy wherever we can. So listen up. Next winter, instead of me staying here freezing my butt off and you in Arizona sucking sand, we're gonna go visit Krista." "Say what? We can do it, Monty. We're the M&M boys." Nothing's ever stopped us. Not in this thicket, not drill sergeants, not even Vietnam, Monty said, brightening. There it is, Max said, and they sat planning until clouds rolled in and rain threatened. Maybe we better get going, Max said. They stood, but Monty wobbled, and Max moved close to steady him. Too much coffee, Monty said. Don't worry, I'll hold you close, hip to hip, and we can shuffle to your apartment. They set off, and Monty said, holding each other like this, people are going to think we're gay. Max laughed. Hell, we are gay. And we just had our first spring bloomin'. We did? Sure. We got snockered in public on a perfect spring afternoon, and we worked out a wicked good plan for Krista. This has been terrific. What do you want to do next?
Jim, I think you got a little extra there.
No, it's here.
Oh. Thank you. Oh, dear. That would have been disastrous. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jim. I still love that. I have to announce that Jay Ingram won't be able to make it tonight. He literally has a headache, poor guy. So we wish him well. And now Sherry was almost here. She's just going to have to turn around and come back up here. This is Sherry Kramer, and she's going to share Monk in Motion with us.
That's tall. Hi. Ooh. So, this is the character that didn't quite make it into Heaven's Sweet Embrace. He wanted his own book. This is a work in progress. The year is 1598, and we are in Korea. I had that bittersweet feeling that only comes with moving on, the joy of renewed freedom, the pang of regret at parting with newfound friends. I breathed in, letting the forest air fill my nose and lungs. There are few things better than the smell of a pine forest or the feel of a bed of pine needles underfoot. It was a relief to be alone, the trees as witness to my survival. I moved off the path to find a nook to settle into before sunset. The quiet was unbelievably beautiful, stark contrast to the chaos of war. Finally, I sat down, held up by the strength of the tree at my back. Tears came, tears of gratitude for this tree, for this moment of solitude, for being alive. Grace comes in so many forms. Up until now, alone meant meditating with fellow monks. We lived, worked, ate, trained, slept together. Alone was a concept, a feeling. Now here I was, alone, and yet with my back against the tree, my eyes closed, I could feel a presence simultaneously coming from within me and surrounding me. All the love I had ever known feeding into it. Alone was still a concept. I'm not sure how long I spent wandering the woods, feeding on its beauty before finally emerging one day and following the road to the nearest market town to see if I could make myself useful. I stopped at the edge of the market, stood there grinning as people passed by, coming and going.
Eventually, a young boy stood at my feet, looking up at me. "What are you doing?" he asked, as if I actually might have some purpose in standing there. "Waiting for you," was the answer that came out of my mouth. "Let's go then." He took my hand and led me down the road and into the market. I smelled the chicken soup before we arrived at the tavern, our destination. He presented me to his mother, saying, "I told you he'd be here today." She and I looked at each other, not quite sure what to make of the situation. Embarrassed, I looked down at my feet. She was about my age and quite beautiful. Since no one spoke, the boy again said, "I told you he'd be here today." I was very confused. "Who do you think I am?" was all I could think to say. "The man who was in my dream," he responded, as if I should already know. Before she could say anything, his mother was called away to serve some new customers. The boy took my hand again and led me to their humble dwelling. We removed our shoes and went inside, where he tugged at my arm to sit me down on the packed dirt floor. I couldn't think of any good reason not to obey, and so I sat. He left and then reappeared with a cup of water and some snacks on a low serving table, which he set down in front of me before seating himself on the other side, obviously very pleased with himself. I took a sip of water and nibbled on a rice cake, keeping my mouth busy so I wouldn't have to speak. I felt oddly comfortable sitting there with him and even made some effort to try and recall a dream I might have had with him. Having no luck on my own, I finally asked him about his dream. He proceeded to tell me a very complicated story, as dreams often are, that ended with a monk, me, standing at the edge of the market smiling. It was very clear to him from the dream that I would be coming to stay with him and his mother. He told me that I'd had the dream several times over the last month, but this morning he knew I would finally arrive. I nodded in response, closed my eyes. When I opened them again, I asked him his name. "Kim Song-an," he told me. "Put me to work, Kim Song-an," I replied. He ignored me, too busy helping me finish the snacks. Silently, we finished the treats, and he took the tray away. I felt restless, unsure what to do with myself. Curiosity finally took me outside to the busy tavern. At first, I sat on the porch, observing the customers, almost all men. Song-an sat down next to me and explained that the woman who was helping them suddenly quit some days back, leaving his mother all alone to manage the cooking, serving, and washing up. I could see how exhausted she looked and headed to the kitchen to see what I could do. Bowls were stacked up, waiting to be washed. Washing dishes was certainly something I had experience with. I squatted down near the bowl of water, picked up some fresh straw, and started in on the pile. It may seem odd, but I really love washing dishes. The sound of the straw against the metal, the way my mind wanders, the transformation as the bowls begin to shine again. I continued in my task until the pile of dirty bowls stopped renewing itself and there were no more, until Song-an's mother came in, wiping the fatigue from her brow. The midday meal had ended. She filled 3 bowls and brought them to the table near where I had been working, along with kimchi and several other side dishes. One taste of the stew, and I knew why the tavern was so crowded. "It's delicious," I told her. "I haven't had a meal this good since before the war." She blushed and placed some kimchi on my rice before doing the same for Song-an. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Let's see, we have, since June, I think it's time for some more music. Amy, I said you're not going to come up yet. Amy's going to follow Peter McKenzie tonight, so move you down a little bit. Amy was a nice surprise. Somehow her submission got lost in the electronic mail, I guess. So that's a wonderful surprise that Amy's going to be reading for us tonight. But right now, I would like to welcome Hiba Hassan, who's going to do a song for us. And the song is called Wild Blooms. So let's welcome Hiba.
My name is Hiba. I'm a singer-songwriter and a hopeless romantic, and I write songs about me and my friends. And you'll have to forgive me, I have a throat thing going on right now, so I've been living off of like water and lozenges for the last week. But I wrote this song within like the last week also, called Wild Blooms. And it is about finding love after thinking you couldn't. Memory is a tricky thing. She still believes it was meant to be you, the one she'd wake up next to. And I admit I like the thought of hopeful glances, turn sweethearts, gardens tended, lilies in full bloom. But then there's the truth that had withered and died in the years we shared under your wavering care. I wilted in shade while you gave your sunlight in spades to any blossom caught in your snare. I watched it all, I was there. Nothing grew here before, nothing grows here anymore. Tidal waves of old regret. I once said I didn't feel it, the ache of who we were as kids. And all those ghosts took root in me. I'm a graveyard of old possibilities, rose thorns and dying trees. 'Cause there's the truth that had withered and died in the years we shared under your wavering care. I wilted in shade while you gave your sunlight in spades to any blossom caught in your snare. I watched it all, I was there. I was there. Nothing grew here before, and nothing grows here anymore. 10 bouquets I can't discard, the leaves grow rot inside my heart. I raised concerns, you waved them off, left me to wish on falling stars. I burned the field, tried to restart, and painted over all my scars. The winter set, I called your bet, but you had already left. You'd already left. Frostbitten, who could have guessed that he'd come around and thaw the mess you left behind? Blushing spring, the turning tides. Love struck by the idea that I was worth more than the ivy hanging off my frame and the florals at my grave. 'Cause it's true, with you I withered and died in the years we shared. And I know now that it wasn't fair. Do you cling to the things I had promised then, lying still in the crypt until you wake again? And somehow after everything, it came in wild blooms, the sudden proof that I was new and I hadn't died the way I thought I did with you.
Thank you. Now, we have the good fortune to welcome up Barb Kelzer, who hangs out with Steve Kelzer a lot for some reason. And she has a lovely piece, and Steve, I believe, is going to be backing her up on this, on the piano. And Barb's piece follows the prompt, I Tell You What, and that's the title of what she's going to share with you. So, welcome, Barb.
I tell you what, because I tell people what a lot. I started out, I wrote a piece that was, according to my husband, a little political, and so we decided it probably wasn't the best one to do. That maybe it was more important to do something spring-like and happy. So that's where we're going tonight. Okay, ready? The spring equinox marks the beginning of spring and the return of longer days and warmer weather. Spring is what I look forward to every year. After 5 months of winter, spring is to be celebrated as a time of renewal and growth and fertility. In Minnesota, it's when the earth wakes up from its long winter nap and comes alive with color and excitement. On a farm, it's when baby calves and lambs are born and seeds are planted to ensure a beautiful fall harvest. Spring is exciting for so many people for all different reasons. High school seniors are looking forward to graduation and enjoying the summer before college or job hunting. Other children are just looking forward to having more fun, more time to relax, or pursue other interests. I tell you what, spring just makes us all feel better about life. It's a brand new do-over for everyone to start again. They say most people make resolutions at New Year's than any other time, but I think people feel more alive and are ready to make those resolutions in the spring. On New Year's Day, when the snow is blowing and the temperature's below zero, I'm more likely to binge eat in front of the TV than push myself out for a walk. When spring finally arrives, I can hardly wait to be outside. The air is clean, the sun is warm, and I just feel better. Sun sets later, and the extra daylight helps to get my Fitbit numbers up. People everywhere buy pots full of flowers and seeds for the garden to beautify their homes and their lawn. They start planning their summer vacations, and then, I tell you what, as much as we love it, spring in Minnesota doesn't last very long. And that's why everyone's in a hurry to get spring started. And then, just when you think life can't get any better, summer happens. The temperature goes up and Minnesota residents are all outdoors, playing, eating, going to the beaches, or maybe up north. The summers in Minnesota fly by faster than spring does, so we must take advantage of every day. We go to parades, we celebrate the 4th of July and spend time in our gardens and our cabins at the lake. We reap all of the rewards from the frantic planting and preparing we did for spring, because nothing tastes better than a homegrown tomato. Summer is spent outside, unless it's too hot, or too cold, or too muggy, or too buggy, which happens sometimes. People build outdoor spaces with kitchens to entertain their friends and neighbors. They go to outdoor concerts and they spend time camping and fishing and eating outside whenever possible. I think every Minnesotan would love to have an extra 3 months of summer, but not me. Of all the seasons Minnesota has, fall is my favorite. When the summer has been too hot and buggy for me, I look forward to fall. I'll tell you what, if I had my way, fall would last for 6 months, because the temperatures cool off from those hot summer days to sweatshirt weather. The air has a smell of backyard campfires and the rustle of falling leaves. The trees turn colors and provide beautiful backgrounds for yearbook photos and fall weddings. We drive by beautiful fields of soybeans and corn and sunflowers, and we see the combines harvesting and the trucks hauling the golden grain to market. We attend high school football games on cool, crisp evenings, and the store aisles fill up with Halloween candy and Thanksgiving turkeys, and everyone's looking forward to the holidays. And then, winter happens. And I tell you what, that's when I start looking forward to spring.
Thank you so much, Barb. Excuse me, should have had that swig of water after all. Now, I would like to invite up my better half, April Munson, to read something that I think is really special. And she has done a poem called The Dream of Spring. So, April, here you go.
Thank you, Doug. Dream of Spring. I wrote this in February. Lovely, lonely winter day, where chilling breeze takes breath away, where pale, cold sun, though heart is warm, whispers hints of distant storm. And yet, as I crunch through the snow with chickadee aloft in bough and web of branches against the sky, I see the love from God's supply. In frozen fields which dream of spring, these dormant grasses soon will bring the swell and surge from root through stem when earth expresses life again. Until the time of melting snow, this lonely winter day, I know, is part of what the gift's about. It's seeing love from inside out. I've got a second poem here. It's called What is Change? Change can shock in many ways by taking forms that can amaze. Sometimes happy, often spare. Change occurs most anywhere. Sometimes hard, sometimes round. Under cushions, change is found. Change is part of life, it's true. But I like folding money too.
So you decided to read that after all. She's brave.
Changed my mind.
Okay. I hope you guys have your plugs. This is about a week old, and its title has nothing to do with spring, but it's a very important theme. And to make up for that, this song has all the prompts in it. So I wrote this in honor of my mother, who was an incredible soul. And she just passed on February 3rd. And so I've finally gotten to the place where I can kind of connect with her. And this is an effort in that direction. So the title of the song is called God Only Knows. And bear in mind, this is only a week old, and I'm probably going to stumble all over the place, but you're not supposed to do that.
Anyway, I am. Okay. It was a brilliant sunset when I hopped on that old train. I thought of changes you've been through, and it began to rain. Like God only knows. I settled back reflecting how you brought me to this place. When I had long rushed back into this house of time and space, that God only knows. You catered to my stumble into Odin's fated choice. In my greedy grab for wisdom and my own sacrifice, that God only knows. You found your well of answers when you first slipped through that veil. But we turned home with a broken heart and an empty pail. God only knows. You were my first guru, and I will tell you what. I learned how grand life is, a blooming pain in the butt, and God only knows. You've crossed that Rubicon again, and your bucket overflows. With a life going on forever, and a love God only knows. God only knows. I gotta see who's next. Oh, wow. Peter. You're here already. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Peter Mackenzie, and he would like to share with you how to be in the stream.
Hello? What if I've already got what I need to work it all out? Always right. Now that's right with a W. Give in, give out, give up, give way. Do I suffer from so many potholes by giving up parts of the old road that are no longer needed? A bumpy road is a promising thing?
It's truth come a-callin', calling my name. A now remembered friend is calling me home again. I've always known there's more. Where do I find it? How can I bloom? Step up, take flight, look over the horizon. Oh my, there's another horizon. Listen deep. Here we are again forever. Now, here, inside the heart. Be the stream. A song is born each moment. The flow from the mountain stream enlivens a friendship with life and love. To give and to receive, it flourishes and nourishes. The notes, like droplets, rippling and gurgling among the long polished stones on the stream bed. Time worn, yet fresh and renewed, like the bow on the string, reminds the texture, the rosin. That vibration lives inside and reaches through and out to touch each and teach and to learn. In my heart, I yearn for your love, to share as we live it. No need to hurry or to wait. Be in this dream. Be in this dream. Thank you.
And now let's welcome up Amy Sasek. And she's going to be sharing a piece called Bouquet of Blossoms. No, Bouquet of Sonnets, even more exciting.
Bouquet of Sonnets. The germination of the imagination will guide you while you ponder your life's dissertation in imagination. Implementation of ideas, thoughts and plans are left simmering in your fertile, loamy soil, ready for the sun's illumination to poke through and begin the life cycle, because only then will you realize the importance of the dissertation. Part 2. Why not be with me under the willow tree? There is no weeping, just chickadee. Come sit, D, sip from my cup of tea. Shades of yellow calm and shelter with arms. Be aware of the storm with colors gray that form. My yellow is blue than gray. Like the cumulonimbus, the sky was aglow. So you shall go. Part 3. Why not? Why not now come and sit with me? There is quiet here, stillness in the dusk. Birds lullaby under the willow tree. Where have you been? I miss your peace, your trust. Radiant colors, like life in the sky, reflect the power of my love that glows. Time reminds you there is beauty nigh. Hush. Hear the whispers of hope in my soul. Breathe in the air that is crisp, like the night, colors setting as before eventide. Stars twinkle like fairies in the moonlight. Come, restore your faith, your blessings abide. The willow tree is calling for a new day. Breathe deeply, smell the start of today. Thank you.
Just can't get over how much talent is here tonight. Holy cow. Thank you, Amy. Now, let's welcome Tim Lamar, who's going to be sharing a song with us called Resting in the Arms of Spring. And we'll give him a second. He still has to get his guitar and so on. I should have given you more of a cue, I guess, Tim. So how's everybody doing? Good, good. I'm having fun, I'll tell you that.
First, you got to turn up the volume on the guitar. Get it ready. So I wrote this, I kind of added this little bit of thing about spring to a song that I'd already kind of done, and I don't know how well it goes, but at least in the key or the chord pattern, it should fit well, I guess. As I go willy-nilly down, gotta do that again. As I go willy-nilly down the road of wandering, I find myself again in the loving arms of spring. He left home when he was 10, catching cars on a railroad track, where he was going, where he'd been. There was no looking back. Ooh, you can't take that, you can't take that away. Ooh, you can't take that, you can't take that away. From the wheat fields out in Kansas to the beaches in LA, freedom was more than just a word to a castaway. Ooh, you can't take that, you can't take that away. Ooh, you can't take that, you can't take that away. Ooh, ah, ah. Ooh, ah, ah. This is the story of John Rhodes. 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 Ooh, you can't take that, you can't take that away. Ooh, you can't take that, you can't take that away. The woodland cast its spell as the wind through the trees they sing. And here I am again in the loving arms of spring. Spring, spring.
Woo. Ah, just beautiful, Dan. Thank you. Thank you. Next we have Heather Tran. Hi, Heather. And she's going to be reading Sunrise, Sunset.
Okay, well that's a little high. Well, this piece I actually started a while ago when I was in a poetry class with a few other friends. And it's been morphing over time. It actually became, or started forming more when another friend of ours reminded us of a sunrise that came with these amazing, beautiful, puffy, pink clouds. And it just kept changing over time. So this, I hope that you enjoy this. And I changed the title after submitting it. It's now called Perpetual Sunset. So, the sun rises even on days that we don't see her. Most days we miss her entrance. Sleep, work, our busy lives separate us from the official start of the day. Some days begin with glorious blazes of color, others with puffy pink cotton candy clouds. Some days are cloudless, with the sun sliding into the sky without fanfare. Others transition slowly from dark to half-light, our world shrouded in clouds, letting in only diffused light. No matter how our day begins, the sun always rises, making her presence known, bright light, even in the coldest days. If you think about it, the sun spends every moment of every day rising and rising and rising, never ceasing, a sunrise with no end. Our own sunrise marks the end of the day in another part of the world. Where does that sunset happen when our day begins? It changes day to day. Where is the sun rising as our own day ends? Perhaps we could think of it as a perpetual sunset, the sun shepherding the world into darkness at the close of each day. What speed would I need to go, what mode of transportation would I take to move at the same speed that she travels? Would it be a casual walk, a jog, a bike ride, a drive in a car, a ride on a train, a boat, an airplane? How fast or slow do I need to travel to keep pace with the sun without surpassing her beauty, to spend day after day after day with the glory of the setting sun? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heather. Now I'd like to welcome up Gail Light to read The Visitor.
different. I often do poetry. Today I'm doing a real short story, and it is a spring setting, and it does have the word blooming in it. All right, it's the visitor. Hey, wake up. I think there's someone in the house. His whisper barely cut through the morning fog of sleep surrounding her. Changing tactics, he poked her in the side, jamming his finger into her ribs. Ouch! What'd you do that for? Shh. I think someone is in the house. Listen. From the bedroom on the second floor, all she could hear was the creaking of the old furnace as it assisted the spring sun with warming the house. She could smell the blooming lily of the valley, their scent filling the room from the small vase on the dresser. I don't hear. Her whisper trailed off as something crashed in the basement, followed by what sounded like someone rummaging through the boxes of Christmas decorations and art supplies. Rolling out of bed, admonishing her to stay put, he snuck out of the room and around the corner into his office. Grabbing a baseball bat, he stopped at the bedroom doorway. Knowing how pig-headed stubborn she is, he turned toward her, stretched out his hand, again mouthing, "Stay put." A scuffing sound made its way up the stairs from the kitchen below. Watching him head toward the stairs, her mind raced, bouncing between staying in the bedroom as he demanded and the fear of him facing who knows what on his own. She just couldn't sit there. Crawling off the bed, her leg got tangled in the sheet and she landed on the floor with a loud thump. The house went completely silent. I knew she wouldn't listen, flashed through his mind. He made it to the landing, halfway down the split staircase, stopping to crouch behind the thick rail spindles. Surveying the first floor, he could see the front door and parts of the living room on the right and the dining room on the left. "You were supposed to stay upstairs," he whispered as she joined him on the landing. "I want to help." "Okay, when we get to the bottom, you go to the right. I'll go to the left," he whispered as they heard scratching coming from the kitchen. The house is one of the old houses where, you can move around in a circle through all the rooms and end up back in the same place. She had the route through the living room, the library, and the hallway, and he had the route through the dining room, with the plan for them to both meet in the kitchen. Slinking through the rooms, muscles tightened with anticipation, she was ready to pounce on whoever was ransacking the kitchen. Nothing was out of place in the living room or the library. Moving into the hallway, she slid her back against the wall, keeping out of view of the kitchen doorway. Meanwhile, bat raised as if waiting for the home run pitch, he glanced around as he quietly stalked through the dining room, avoiding the sight line of the kitchen doorway. Arriving at the kitchen at the same time, they startled the intruder. Black eyes glaring through cobwebs plastered around its ears and face, a large gray squirrel planted all four paws on the small kitchen table by the window. A split second later, it was darting up the side of the cupboards all the way to the ceiling, heading toward the dining room. Landing on the floor, it skittered behind the large plants in the bay window. "Open the door to the porch. I'll try to chase it in there so we can get outside," he said. Ushering the squirrel away from the plants, he ran after it, blocking it from going up the stairs, chasing it behind furniture and up walls through the living room and the library. They finally made it into the hallway. Opening the door to the porch, which also blocked the entry into the kitchen, she stood in the outside doorway. Laughter erupted between them as the squirrel sprinted outside, trying to shake off the cobwebs as it went.
Hello. I'm going to leave everybody with one last song here. It's called Last Goodbye. And I use the word change. Maybe fortunately or unfortunately, it's a typical Nell bailing on a relationship song, so. I know. And I'm going to have my maestro turn on my tape machine. Well, we're going to wrap this up for the night here. I want to thank, you already thanked, but the city of Chaska again, just incredible. They are filming it for us tonight, so it'll be on YouTube. And the Arts Consortium of Carver County, who sponsors this. And Doug Munson here. Barb Kelzer, who's in charge of everything out front there, the water and the food. I'd like to make an announcement that June 13th at Parley Lake Winery will be an event, a fundraiser for the consortium. They'll have an art raffle, silent auction, flash fiction winners reading their stories. We'll have a CD release concert with musicians. That starts from 5 to 8. And please come out. That's June 13th. That'll be on a Friday night at Parley Lake Winery. You have any parting words there, Doug?
Yeah, make sure you mark that on your calendar, because it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm sure.
You're going to play there, too.
Oh, well, that's going to chase everybody away. But thank you, everybody, again, so much for coming out tonight. We're honored to have you here, and much love to you all. Take care. Have a good weekend.